Meet David and KRISTIN Mittleman, a real-life crime-fighting couple in Houston, Texas, who have discovered a groundbreaking method to solve crimes. They've built a forensic technology company called OTHRAM that's conducting DNA testing unlike anywhere else.
OTHRAM was purpose-built to identify victims and perpetrators from crime scenes. I don't think justice is a luxury. It's not like we bought a new pair of shoes or a new watch and it makes our life better. It is a basic human right to get justice. And so if there's a tool out there that can make your investigation better, it should be required.
The enemy of justice is uncertainty, right? You don't know what happened. You don't have all the facts. If we want to, fix that, we got to build technology on the front end that empowers the investigators in the labs to derive more certainty in the beginning from what they've got.
The Mittlemans have helped solve more than 2,000 cases. Some of them had been cold for over a century. Most recently, they cracked a high-profile murder of a well-known Instagram influencer in Maryland.
Rachel Moran was a mom of 5, and she went out for her normal walk in the morning and never returned home. She was found on the trail, brutally raped and murdered.
Investigators did find DNA evidence at the crime scene. Problem was, they couldn't find a match in the National FBI DNA database, CODIS.
The problem is that if you're not identified, then they can't find you. It's more of a lookup table than it is really a way to identify someone. And the bigger problem is that the system was never designed. It was never designed even in the 90s to solve cases of human remains. It was not designed for that. It was designed to track repeat crimes from people that were known to the criminal justice system.
So here you are in a situation where most crimes aren't being solved by that direct match. And so perpetrators are getting away with it, and they're committing the next crime and the next crime and the next crime.
And in the case of Rachel Moran, their system worked.
There was a hit to an unknown profile a few months earlier from LA of an attack of a woman and her 9-year-old daughter. And that is when forensic-grade genome sequencing is extremely helpful, because we come in and we're able to infer that identity. This person was from El Salvador and a recent immigrant from El Salvador. And they were able to figure out the identity of the DNA belonging to someone that actually had murdered a woman in El Salvador prior to leaving and fleeing into the United States, had crossed our borders illegally, did not have a driver's license, a residence, an identity that would be easy to track. And when FBI finally caught him, he was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
The Mittlemans say they receive over 50 requests a week from law enforcement agencies.
We receive evidence from crimes all over the country, internationally, remains of people that have been unidentified, and we can run these samples, remains, and evidence through a very simple process right here in-house. All happens in this building. Everything that is received in the laboratory is photographed, broken down into pieces, and documented in case we go to court. And in this first room over here, our objective is to take the evidence, examine it, and look for DNA. So this is what people call DNA extraction. We're trying to sequentially, through chemical reactions and other processes, dissociate the DNA evidence from the actual material.
Once they figure that out, they call up the law enforcement team that gave us the case, and they say, okay, we have some answers for you. This is what we know about your perpetrator, or this is what we know about your victim, and how can we continue to help with this investigation?
The Mittlemans say not only are they motivated to help families get justice, they also hope their DNA technology could help prevent future crimes.
The more cases that we solve, the more awareness around the technology, the more further cases get put in for testing. And then as the solve rates get really, really high, I think it becomes a deterrent. People think twice. Maybe I don't want to go murder this person. Maybe I'll find another outlet for my aggression, because I know that if I sexually assault someone or I murder someone, there's a ridiculously high chance that I'll be caught. I don't want to be caught.